Hello. Today I want to make some chia seed pudding. Chia seed pudding is something that is great for breakfast, great for a snack. Half a cup of chia seed pudding is going to give you a lot of different nutrients, including a bunch of fiber that you need. Depending upon what milk you use, it's going to vary a little bit. But in a half a cup, you're going to have about 105 calories, 6 grams of fat, 10 grams, 11 grams of carbs, which is usually going to show up as sugar, depending on what milk you use again. If you use water, 8 grams of that will actually be dietary fiber, and the other 2 to 3 grams will be carbohydrates. Again, depending on if you use whole milk, if you use cashew milk, almond milk, check the label on all of those to see actually how much sugar is in each of those. A lot of the milks out there, whether it's flaxseed, soy milk, are heavy with added sugar. So go ahead and check those out to make sure you know how much is in about a half a cup of the milk. You're also going to get a bunch of protein out of this. You're going to get anywhere between 5 and 7 or 8 grams of protein, again, depending upon what it is that you use as your base. I'm using cow's milk because, one, I love cow's milk, and 2, I am allergic to nuts, so I won't be using any of the nut milks, but I have heard that they taste very good. I'm going to try 2 recipes today. I'm going to start off with a recipe that I've done multiple times that I really like, that's fast and easy. This one is a refrigerator recipe. There's no cooking involved. So if you have a few minutes the night before, you can set it up and you have breakfast ready for you in the morning. First thing we're going to do is we're going to take and we're going to put a cup of milk into a container that you can put in the refrigerator overnight. So I've got a container. Then I'm going to take 3 tablespoons of chia seeds and dump them directly in. So when I dump them in, they're just going to sit on top of the milk, and that's okay for right now. The next thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to take cinnamon, and I'm going to take half a teaspoon of cinnamon to put in there. So I have half a teaspoon of cinnamon. Next, I'm going to use some vanilla. I prefer Madagascar vanilla, and I prefer Madagascar vanilla just because I love the flavor. So I take a teaspoon, and I put it directly in. The final thing we need to do, and this is the easiest part of this, is I'm going to cover my container, and all I'm going to do is shake it up to mix in the chia seeds. This is going to go directly in my refrigerator, and I should get about 1.5 cups to 2 cups once the chia seeds swell up. If you would like, you can go through and you can move it every couple of hours if you do it early in the evening, but it really doesn't matter as long as you shake it once or twice. So that's our refrigerator version that's really, really quick. I'm going to stuff this in the refrigerator, and then we're going to talk about the other version. The second version of chia seed pudding that I want to make is one that's actually cooked. So I have put onto the stove some milk, and I've gotten that started to cook. I've done this before with just lavender, but I want to try a lavender lemon chia seed today. So I'm going to take a tablespoon of lavender, and I'm going to pour it into my milk, and I'm going to take the zest, so you can see that there's zest here, the zest from 1 lemon, and I'm going to put that directly into the milk. I'm going to mix this around, and don't worry about the fact that you are going to be eating lemon seeds or lavender, because that's actually not going to be the case. We're going to give this a quick filter just to get rid of the lavender seeds and the lemon. I love the flavor of lavender, and I love the lavender chia seeds that I've made before. I want to try it with lemon, because I think lemon and lavender are 2 flavors that go really, really well together. So this is an experiment for me today to see how this goes. And the reason that I'm boiling it is really to make sure that I'm releasing the flavor of the lavender flowers into the milk, so I do get that lavender flavor. All right, so as you can see here, I've got the lavender flowers, I've got the lemon in there. I'm just going to whisk them in, and I'm going to go ahead and let this cook for approximately 3 minutes. So I'm going to set a timer, and we're going to let this go for 3 minutes to release the flavor of those lavender flowers and the flavor of that lemon. All right, my timer has just gone off. So I'm going to go ahead and filter this. As you can see, I have a cup here, and then I've got a filter. And this is just a wire mesh filter. And the reason that I want to do this is to make sure that I get out the lavender flowers as well as the lemon zest. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to go ahead and filter this so that I can get that out. Now, the next thing that I'm going to do is, because I have lost some volume here, as you can see, I started off with a cup and I now have about half a cup. So I'm going to go ahead and add a little bit more milk to this, and I'm going to go ahead and taste it. So I'm first going to wash out my pot so that I don't have any lavender flowers left over. And then I'm going to go ahead and put this back in again with another cup or half cup of milk. Okay, I've added another half cup of milk. I'm going to taste this really quickly to see if I like the flavor, since I've never done a lemon one before. I can definitely taste the lavender. My lemon is a little bit light. So what I'm going to do is I juice the lemon, and I'm just going to add about half of the juice from the lemon just to see what that does to the flavor. So when I do that, now it definitely has a little bit more of a lemon flavor. I wouldn't add any more than half of what came out of that lemon because I don't want the lemon flavor to be overpowering. Now comes the tricky part with chia seeds. When we put the chia seeds into cold milk, we could go ahead and shake it and it's not a problem. Unfortunately, when you put chia seeds into a hot liquid, they have a tendency to immediately start to swell and immediately clump together, and that's not what we want. So I need to make sure that I am whisking this very rapidly as I am putting in my chia seeds. And what that does is that's going to allow the chia seeds to swell evenly, not make large clumps, because we really want a nice, good feeling chia seed pudding. Okay, so I'm ready to add my chia seeds. So I'm going to have this spinning very rapidly as I slowly dump in, and you can see the chia seeds dropping. I'm going to slowly dump in my chia seeds. And this is the same ratio as before. So this is going to be 3 tablespoons of chia seeds that I am pouring in. And at this point, I'm just going to continue to mix it until it starts to thicken up. And this should take a couple of minutes, or about a minute, for it to thicken up. And I can see that it's moving really, really nicely in the pan. So let me show you that there is good movement. There's not any big clumps that we have inside the pan. Now, one thing to note is when you do add the lemon juice, the milk does begin to curdle a little bit. So you really want to keep this moving and not have it sitting too long in the pot. All right, it looks like it's just about thickened up. So I'm going to turn off my flame so that it doesn't thicken up anymore, or so that it doesn't cook to the bottom. Now, when I take a spoon to this, now that I've turned it off, you can actually see that it is a nice thick pudding, and the chia seeds are sticking together and it's making it nice and thick. All right, so this is done. Let me show you what this looks like close up. So if you can see it nice and close up, you can see the chia seeds in there, You can also see that it's moving as a unit. So let me get it to the other side of the pan, and you can see that it's moving as one nice big unit, which is exactly what we want. Okay, so my chia seed pudding is done, and I'm going to take and I'm just going to put it into a bowl so that you guys can see what it looks like. And this is my chia seed pudding. I'm going to go ahead and taste this and see what it tastes like. I can definitely taste the lavender, and I can definitely taste the lemon. And it actually turned out exactly the way that I wanted it to. There is a little bit more curdling than I would like just because I added a little bit more lemon juice than I was thinking to add. But I really wanted that lemon flavor to come out because I think lemon is a great refreshing flavor in the morning. And I think lemon is really a good flavor any time of day. Lavender, great relaxing flavor at any time. Thank you so much for joining me, and enjoy your chia seed pudding.